Shields up, Paladins, and welcome to our For Honor Hero Guide. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'll be talking to you all about the Medjay and how I like to use this particular character. The Medjay is one of the hybrid characters in the Outlanders faction. He has a hard difficulty rating, as well as he has 2 combat modes and is very versatile. His base stats are his health is set to 130, his stamina is set to 120, and his sprint speed is set to 6 milliseconds. With all this being said and done, let's go ahead and jump right on over to his feats. Starting with his tier 1, we have Sunshine's Drain, which is a passive ability. After a kill, you will gain, if you are in your staff form, you will gain a damage reduction. Or if you're in your Axis form, you will also gain a attack buff. This buff lasts until you die. Body Count, which is a passive ability. Killing soldiers grants you health and stamina. And Iron Lungs, which is another passive ability. You can still sprint when out of stamina. His tier 2 feats are Moonlight Drain, which is a passive ability. On a melee hit, if you are in your staff form, you will lower the opponent's defense, or if you're in your Axis form, you will lower your opponent's attack. Executioner Respite, which is a passive ability. When executing an enemy hero, gain an extra amount of health based on the execution's duration. And Thrilling Combat, which once again is a passive ability. Recover a small amount of health upon entering Revenge. His tier 3 feats are Scarab Relief. If you are in your staff form, you will heal yourself and nearby allies. Or if you're in your Axis form, you will heal yourself greatly. Heal on Block, which is a passive ability. Blocking enemy heroes' attacks regenerates your health. And also Second Wind, which is recover some of your health. And finally, for his tier 4, we have Astral Manifestation, which if you're in your staff form, you throw a bomb for a damage over an area. Or if you're in your Axis form, you throw your Axis for high damage. Catapult, called Catapult Strike, that deals massive damage over an area. And then finally Arrow Storm, which is an aerial attack that deals medium damage in multiple areas. So for the Medjay, what I like to use is actually just the starting feats. I feel like it's a great use of his way to switch between both his staff and his Axis, and it also gives you multiple ways to play as the Medjay. If you want to be more aggressive player with him, you can go straight into your Axis where you get your attack buff, you lower your opponent's attack, also heal yourself, and then if you get your tier 4, your Axis do quite a bit of damage if you do get your tier 4 and use your Axis. Or you can be the more defensive style player and just stick to your staff form, where you get damage reduction on yourself, you lower your opponent's defense, you heal yourself and nearby allies, where you're more of the team player. And then also again, you have a bomb with your tier 4 if you stay in your staff form. That bomb can help you take B if you're playing Dominion, or if there's just a gank going on and they're all kind of close together, you can throw that bomb in there and just do damage over an area. So either way you do that, or again, you can just mix and match however you so feel like playing. And then it all depends on you. But I prefer just really sticking to his first feats that you unlock. So now for his perks, what I like to run is Remedy, Feline Agility, and Clever Tactics. Now whenever I'm running Dominion or Breach, I like to take the points. I like to cap points, so Clever Tactics, again, that just helps you kind of take it just a tad bit quicker. So where if the enemy team is constantly running in, or if you're on Breach, you have that commander or that captain that keeps running in, maybe you can take it just a little bit quicker, where you're not stuck at the first point or whatever point you're on. Feline Agility, he's not the quickest character out there, so anything that kind of helps speed him up just a little bit, that does help. And of course Remedy is just gives you a little extra health while you're doing all that, while you're killing people. So With all that being said and done, we're going to jump right on over into the hero tactics. Now, during this is what the game wants to teach you combat-wise for the particular character, which is the Medjay in this case. While we're doing that, I'm just pretty much just talking about everything hero-specific-wise for the character, and kind of just stuff that keep in mind while you are using the Medjay. So where a lot of people go into the mindset of the Highlander, as he's another character that has like an attack or two forms, I should say. So in this case, you can kind of do that, but not really. It's a little bit different. So going into this, we have Renown, which is hybrid. Again, Renown is balanced across all activities, which that's a no-brainer. Revenge mode, of course, we all know. Boost damage and health. All attacks are uninterruptible. Parries and throws knock enemies down. Attacks are auto-parried upon activation. We all know that. So defense, which is static, your guard remains active in the direction you designate. Unlike most other static guard heroes, Medjay also has normal block dodges. So that's something to keep in mind. So normal block dodges is forward, left, and right dodges have normal block properties in the direction of the dodge. So he has a dual stance, which Medjay has two stances, the staff mode and the axe mode. While each stance modifies the Medjay's kit, his overall moves are the same input. So stance switching. So to switch between stances, you press the back guard break input depending on what you play. Stances can be switched during the recovery of any move or after a parry when entering the card for a faster switch. Static stances. Unlike other augmented stances where one stance is temporal, both stances are treated as static for the Medjay. While the staff mode is the Medjay's primary stance, Medjay also will maintain the axe mode until he enters guard or performs an execution. So the stance switching does not cost stamina, nor is there any additional cost for the axe mode, thus it can be maintained while out of stamina. Unlike the Highlander, as soon as you go into Dome of Glass or back to his normal fighting stance, as soon as you get hit or anything like that, boom, you're back to your normal stance. Where the Medjay is not that way. If you're out of stamina, if you get hit, you're stuck in either your stance or your axe mode until you either get a guard break or an execution or anything like that. Chain openers, Nomad Rush, Throne Guard, Throne Usurper, Nomad Slash, Throne Room Clutch, and Throne Room Tackle are all chain openers. Nomad Rush, Throne Guard, Throne Usurper, and Nomad Slash chains into Chain Light or Heavy Finisher, while the Throne Room Clutch and Throne Room Tackle chains into a Chain Light or Heavy, but only if you get the hit. Mid-Chain Bash, Medjay can perform a Throne Room Clutch or Tackle in their respective stance after any non-finisher light attack by just pressing the guard break input, chain finisher, using the same attack twice, light into light, heavy into heavy. During the 1,000 Suns chain will end the chain. Staff mode properties. While in staff mode, the Medjay has a greater range and defensive properties to help him in team fights. Greater range, the staff mode's attacks have a greater reach. You will notice that quite a bit. It's almost to the point where his greater reach is almost a little bit bigger than the Highlander's, in my opinion. And we all know the Highlander has a very long reach. So then, of course, you have your enhanced lights. Non-opening lights are enhanced in staff mode. Uninterruptible chains. Non-opener attacks. Chain attacks into uninterruptible properties, which starts up early into the attack than most instances of uninterruptible. Pinning Bash. Medjay has access to the Throne Room Clutch while in staff form. Clutch is a pinning bash that costs a major amount of stamina, but also will deal a very moderate amount of damage and push them back to the end of the pin. You will see that while we're going through the hero tactics here. It can be dodged quite a bit. Don't rely on it too much. As well as his bash, it can be dodged. So that is something that you don't want to rely on. It's kind of something you just want to throw out there every now and then, but don't rely on it too heavily. So team fights, team fight feats. So while in staff mode, Medjay's unique feats will feature effects that are more multi-targeted and defense-focused. So the axe mode properties, while in axe mode, Medjay has a greater speed and offensive properties that help him in one-on-ones. So greater mobility, axe modes, forward and side, walk speed are faster. He has a faster offense while in axe form. So Medjay's overall kit is a faster within axe mode. His moves that are faster in this form are follows, all heavy chains, chain lights, throne guard, throne usurper, and nomad slash. He has unblockable finishers, so his heavy finishers will be unblockable. Swift bash. Medjay has access to a throne room tackle while in axe form. The tackle is a fast bash that costs a minor amount of stamina, guaranteeing a follow-up chain light. This bash also features a fast recovery. Think of the Warden shoulder bash whenever I talk about a throne room tackle. So he will do a very small version of the shoulder bash that the Warden has. You can't charge it up, so you can't do anything like that. It's a very minute, up in your face type of move. And of course, while in axe mode, Medjay's unique feats will feature effects that are more single targeted and offensive focused. Excuse me. So while all that being said and done, that's just the different ways that you can play them. Again, if you're more 1v1 focused, then stay in your axe form. If you're more team fight focused, depending on the situation and what you're playing, then you want to stay more in your staff form. Or you can mix and match if you use all of his feats, if you're in Dominion or Breach for whatever reason. So the way I kind of use him is I've been always more of the team player type of player, where I'm going after points, I'm pushing the ram, I'm trying to kill the captain as quick as possible, while also trying to make sure we keep pushing the objective. So my play style, I stay in staff form quite a bit. There will be a time or two where I will go into axe form just to either heal myself, or I like to throw my axes quite a bit while as the Medjay whenever I do get my 4th tier feat. So that is something that I like to do, where I'm not so much dependent on everyone else around me, where I can still do damage and still be okay and can still hold my own whenever I do get into a 1v1 situation where I'm not just surrounded by everybody. So I kind of mix and match a little bit. I like to be more of a team player, but also if I have to hold my own, I can. So that's kind of the way that I like to play the Medjay, and with his kit, he definitely allows me to do that. So hopefully I answered a lot of questions, comments, concerns. If there is something that I missed, definitely leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to read it and reply back, and hopefully we can help each other out while learning the Medjay together. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, as I said, and I will see you in the next one.